King is back, baby. I'm on gas. Yo, Flex with it. He's fat.
You there, sitting at home, acknowledge me.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Turnbuckle Weekly Podcast. This is the second one this week, man. Boom. Second one, and I'll tell you why it's the second one this week. Are you coughing? You over dying of natural causes?
Okay. I'm okay.
I'm making puns all through this thing. You see how that came? Yeah. I've been waiting for that.
I bet.
So earlier this week, we interviewed Landon Sugars. Because
Did you use an atlas to go around the world to find that one, or?
Nah, I don't know how to read maps.
Okay.
So, because we decided that we did natural causes before, but, man, these guys really deserve their own hour.
That's true.
So I'm not even going to, I'm not going to cut through, or I'm going to cut through all the bullshit. I'm not going to keep going and cutting up in this man's airtime. Ladies and gentlemen, the other half of the WWA Tag Team Champions, one half of Natural Causes, Jace Atlas. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Dude, I'm amazing. I'm still floating from that night in Eddyville.
Dude, let me tell you something, man. Because you were on the ground after getting your ass kicked, you got jumped. I just want to point that out to everyone.
Yes, we have to specify that natural causes.
I haven't forgotten. I have not forgotten.
We are just going to point that out, that it's not due to the lack of talent or holding their own that they were laying on the ground.
It was that piece of shit Michael Caden
and the bald-headed boy wonder, Cortland Moore.
My future ex-husband, Cortland Moore. Because he broke my heart. You guys are going to see this, but I made sure to let Landon know. So many people that were there to see you guys, just like Landon's family alone, so many people. As soon as you went down and then Landon went down, like half his family left. And they were fucking mad. They were mad, dude.
Dude, I tell you what, I know that Landon couldn't see it, but there was steam rolling off of him, dude. I'm telling you.
That's fucked up. He ain't here to defend himself.
We love you.
See, JC, thanks because his tag team partner's here. He can just rip on your boy, and I wouldn't be letting him do that. It couldn't be me, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Couldn't be me.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
It's okay. I rip on Landon too sometimes.
Dude, you kind of got to.
He's good by now.
You kind of got to. I did something to him. I think I made my 12-year-old flip him off or something. And he looked at me and he goes, "I thought you liked me." And I just got real sad. I said, "I do. Come here. Hug me, please. I'm so sorry." So I've been being nicer to him.
Oh, man.
But I got to tell you, man, that night was fucking magical. It was electric. You guys were on. I watched you guys walk around real nervous all night. There was zero reason for it, because when you guys got in there with the Golden Gods, there is no pun. It just felt natural. Mm-hmm. No pun intended.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Okay.
That's the only word I knew for it, was natural. Does that piss you off every time someone says natural? You got to be like,
Pretty much, because the whole name wasn't my idea, and it was just like, oh, it's a cool name, we'll roll with this. Every time someone makes, I even do it myself and I hate it. Every time someone makes the natural pun, I'm like, I hate you. I hate you so much for that.
Dude, and it's funny too, because, we asked Landon if you all had known each other prior or whatever. And then we were like, was it Chris's decision or Ray's decision to throw you all together? When you all first started tagging, did you think that you and Landon would have the chemistry that you all have? Because your all's chemistry is unmatched between anybody else,
honestly,
in my opinion.
It's big facts.
Honestly, me and Landon had done a little bit of work. We had a practice match or two. I went out to his ring and trained with him a bit, and we've had that chemistry from the start. It's always been there. We're just great at working together. I didn't expect to be put in a tag team with him, though I am glad that's the route we went with. I wouldn't picture it any other way. And really, if it weren't for the fact that Landon and I we don't look at all identical, you would think we were brothers. as well as we work.
That's awesome.
I mean, we think the same, we move the same, we act the same. It's crazy.
Well, that's what I was telling him. Like, I've been on this thing about becoming a ref. I'm paused now because I'm gonna be in a sling when I get there Saturday. My shoulder's messed up, and
which
awful.
we're gonna remind everybody why that is, but.
I don't want to talk about it. It's embarrassing, but I can't lift my arm up over a
I
certain
gotta know
point.
now.
Oh,
Okay, so here's what happened.
Hold on. Let me tell the story because you tell it like I'm an idiot, and let me tell it like it's funny.
But I'm not telling it like you're an idiot. You're just an idiot.
Okay, before I go back to what I was gonna mention, because it does go. What I was gonna say does pair with what happened. I used to work for Eli's grandmother in her restaurant. It has since closed. They laid us off. But when I was working there, I like to pick on Eli's grandma. She's a wonderful lady. I love her to death.
She's wonderful.
She's one of the greatest ladies I ever met. I look at her like she's my own grandmother. Well, we had a thing about picking on each other, and I walk by her and I start bumping into her and go, excuse me. And she shoved me, and I knew she was going to shove me. She always gives me like a little light shove whenever she wants me to stop doing whatever I'm doing. So when she did, I was like, I'm going to take a face bump on the floor. It's fine. It's hardwood floor, but like I know enough that I can fall and not hurt myself. I do this all the time anyway to make the kids laugh. Well, I fail. I was going to do like a Chris Farley bump. And when I did, I didn't judge the area correctly because the last time I did a bump like this was it was in a clear area. I didn't have to judge any distance. But when I went down, I slammed my shoulder into a table. And it hurt. Now, this was November. This is like middle of November, maybe right after Thanksgiving at the latest. It hurt for a couple days. It was no big deal. It's fine. Then I'm reffing y'all's practice match in Nebo. And I went down for a count. And Mason had been telling me before, hey, man, get that hand up higher. So I did. I reached for everything I had. And then something went pop. And I went, that's weird. It feels like water's flowing down the back of my arm. But I'm no bitch, so I'm going to keep going. And I did, and I have damaged the tendon in my shoulder. So it's only going to be a couple weeks I'm in the sling. My arm will be back. I just only have about 40% mobility right now. I can't go backwards at all. And sleeping sucks because anytime I move or like I'm a cuddler when I sleep, so I try to throw my arm over my girlfriend. And
he's got T-Rex arm on that side.
I wake up in like excruciating pain, and I'm like, I'm making noises, and it's embarrassing. So I didn't tell Chris that part. I just told Chris that I injured it. And I'll be back in a few weeks to ref. Yeah, now he's going to know why. Mason, too, because I didn't tell Mason either. I just said,
the cat's out of the bag.
But that goes into what I was saying. When I was in there reffing that match, barring the few issues that we had, we're not going to talk about those issues. Right. Barring the few issues with that match we ended up having, none of them come from you guys' side. I was watching you because, number one, I was pissed scared I was going to mess up something y'all were doing. First time I've ever reffed with that many people in the ring. There's just a lot going on. But everything seems seamless. I mean, I walked over to you guys. You guys were very confident about what we were doing. I didn't want to know your special spots or anything because then I'm going to be really freaking out. Like, did Jace going to be running for this and they're going to run for this and they're going to hit this? And I didn't want to know that. I just want to know who's winning and how. That's been my philosophy. My job is to count the three. I just want to know who I'm supposed to be counting it for so I don't mess up. Everything y'all did was just seamless. I started thinking like when I'm watching the Usos don't talk. Mm-mm. They just do. And
it's that twin magic.
Unless you guys are really good at communicating with each other without even the ref being able to know, I didn't hear you guys say anything to each other.
Telepathic.
It's just that chemistry we have. It's hard for us to not agree on something because I look at Landon, he looks at me, and we already know what each other are thinking.
Bam, see? Twin magic.
We communicate everything backstage, what we're doing, how we're doing it, when we're doing it, and 9 times out of 10, it is seamless.
So who made the decision to put you guys together? Because I don't think Landon answered it fully. I think he said he doesn't remember.
And where does Natural Causes, the name, come from?
Yeah, so it's a multi-part question. Who put you together, and then how did we get to Natural Causes?
So going back to the original idea for me, starting off as this rich, white, heel, just chicken shit heel, just everybody hates me just because I have money. That whole spiel. That idea wasn't shot down. It was the original plan, but I remember being in the first Eddyville show. We came back to the high school.
Yeah.
And I had just done a practice match with one of the younger guys, Gavin. And I remember to the side, and he's like, hey, we're going to talk about something creative. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, how do you feel? Immediately, I was like, I have absolutely no issue working with Landon. I love Landon. He's a good dude. We get along really well. It's just the chemistry is there. And Chris goes, okay, perfect. He said, because we're going to scrap this idea of you being this heel, and we're going to have you debut as a tag team. He said, Landon's going to have this match. He's going to be out for a while after this match, and then he's going to come back with you as a tag team. And I was like, okay, I really like that. Now, I don't know exactly who pitched the idea for us to be a tag team, but I know it was Chris that was the one that brought it to me.
Before you answer,
and then as far as
real quick, before you answer that one, do you find it weird that somebody that hates tag team wrestling just seems to understand
right
who works together? Doesn't that seem weird?
It does seem a little weird, but it works.
Yeah. So he hates tag team wrestling. He puts you guys together. It's magic somehow. So now go ahead and with this natural cause, because that's something I don't think we tried to cover in the last one either.
So me and Landon, we go on, we're backstage, we're figuring it out, we're working out all the gear and all that. And then finally we get up to our debut at Over the Top, which, needless to say, wasn't the best debut, but it was a pretty big debut for me and Landon, especially as a tag team, because we went from nobody knew us at all to now we're debuting in front of close to 1,000 people. Oh. Exhilarating.
Yeah.
We go on. We obviously didn't win that. I was also not thrown out of that match, by the way. I did not go over the top rope. But it's okay.
Clarify.
Okay, I didn't go over the top rope.
Axelmania's running wild, brother.
Absolutely. So we go on. We have a few tag team matches. We start to show our stuff, and it gets noticed. The chemistry gets noticed almost immediately that, hey, these guys are actually really good together. And then not only was the chemistry there, we're just improving every week. Better and better every week, nonstop. Then finally we start getting our wins going. We get a tag team title opportunity in this big 5-way ladder match at Halloween Hell, which unfortunately didn't go our way.
Phenomenal match, though, brother. Phenomenal match.
And then about a month or two later, Chris comes up to me backstage, and he's like, hey, go grab Landon and meet me over here. We need to talk real quick. And I was like, oh, no, I don't like that. I hate the, oh, we need to talk real quick. I hate that.
Yeah, I do too.
But he pulls me and Landon to the side, and he says, hey, so here's the creative plans going forward. He tells us, the next time we're in Eddyville, you guys are going to face the Golden Gods. Like, you're about to have this little one-off feud with Golden Gods. You're going to win the tag titles. He said, after that, you guys are going to feud with the Trend Killers. And immediately I was like, I love every aspect of that, because one, I love working with the Golden Gods. Great dudes, easy to work with, great communication. And then second, I was like, working with the Trend Killers, I love that even more, because as much as a machine as the Golden Gods are, a well-oiled machine as they are, working together, the Trend Killers are definitely a notch better than that. So I'm very excited to be working with them now.
Dude, I was talking to Munchie about this. We were just texting back and forth about something, and it was before the Eddyville show. And I said something about, I've been having this thing about calling shit right. Like, me and Landon were talking not long after you guys found out you're going to win the belts by my math. And I was like, so you're going to win the belts in Eddyville, right? And he looked at me and he was like, how do you know that? And I said, because I watch wrestling and I know how booking works. And I also spent my entire childhood watching like Memphis and like USWA stuff and WCCW. And the booking style is very similar there as it is here. Like the way that we do things, it just makes sense that, the Golden Gods are leaving in 2025. They have the straps. You guys have a tag title match. 2 and 2 together. So he starts sweating bullets. And he's like, oh no, he knows. So and then I'd said something to Munchie about, because we were talking about Michael Caden. because my 12-year-old is that's big.
That's his dude.
If Dash wasn't his dude, Michael Caden's his dude. He loves Michael Caden, so much to the point that when I told him that Michael Caden turned on you guys, I was like, and you like natural causes, but now they're going against the trend killers. And he said his exact words, fuck natural causes. And I was like, yo, dude, settle down. And but we were talking about Michael Caden. And nobody understands, is what I said to Munchie, nobody understands how good Michael Caden is. We know. We work with him.
Yeah.
We get to watch him every single week do his thing before the show starts. You guys get to get in the ring with him. Nobody that watches these shows, none of these fans that watch Michael Caden know just how good that dude is.
Well, and I can tell you too, just from him stepping in to our training class, mine and Caleb's.
Broken. Chris didn't tell us we couldn't do it, so
That's on the, just like even him helping, everybody there just helping. WWA is full of knowledgeable wrestlers, people who maybe wouldn't be the first one that you'd be like, hey, he's pretty good in the ring. But no, there's a difference between being good in the ring and really having the knowledge of how to work and doing what needs to be done. And that's one thing with, just like you said, Michael Caden being so good. But going to natural causes, you and Landon are so good for being so young.
it's almost the perfect rivalry.
Yeah, and it's not only the perfect rivalry, but it's almost, and I'm not saying that, you know, the Trend Killers are too old or whatever, but it's almost
Michael Caden's like
Michael Caden's a little old.
He's like I asked him the other day, I said, how old are you, Michael Caden? He looked at me right in my face, I'm 167 years old. Michael Caden is 167.
Do you think he's Gandalf's grandson? I mean, really, he could be.
No, he's Gandalf's dad.
Anyway, but it's almost like a passing of the torch type thing between Trend Killers and Natural Causes, because you've got these old school guys, and I call them old school because Cortland Moore's been there since 2012. You got these guys who have been around the block and they've won the titles and they've done this and they've done that, and then you've got Natural Causes who has been there, what Landon say, 10 months?
Yeah, wait, y'all
Wrestling
on,
for 10
y'all are on
months.
Not
month
even a
10.
full year.
Yeah, and already tag champions. So, like you said, Chris not liking tag titles, not
Tag wrestling.
tag wrestling. There's a reason why Natural Causes are the new tag champs. There's something that Chris sees in such young guys that your older guys don't always get, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, which brings me to my next question. How long did it take you at home to wear the title belt around the house before you were told to go put it away?
We didn't ask Landon that either. We need to.
So we won the belt Saturday. I had a family event Sunday. I wore it to the family event Sunday.
Hell yeah, you did, brother.
I also wore it to work that very same day. I stopped into my work, showed the belt off a bit, took it home, took it off, set it down. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I ended up going to a D&D group that night, wore it there too. I was like, I'm going to wear this with pride. And even my girlfriend was like, she's like, you wear it with pride. You're the damn champion. You're the fucking champion. You earned that. You deserve that. She said, wear it with pride. So
right.
I did. I wore it for probably about a day and a half. Then I was like, okay, I'm being kind of a mark. I need to put it up now.
Any time in that time span, did you A, B, or C shower with it, sleep with it, or poop with it on?
I did none of the three.
Good.
Brother, let me tell you something. If I ever had a chance to win a championship belt, when
You
I
would
was
do
wrestling,
all that.
Now I would wear it in public and start cutting Ric Flair promos on people, challenging random people to matches. You remember Eric? Well, you guys are young, so you might not remember this, but Eric Young used to have this gimmick in TNA where he found the TNA championship, the old TNA championship, in a garbage can. Mm-hmm. He picked it up. He starts carrying it around. He's the champ. He's walking around in public, and then he starts like squaring up with everybody, trying to like slapping himself on his shoulders and his arms, getting ready for like hammer or like for like a collar elbow tie,
yeah.
putting people on hammer locks. Like he's like, all right, you and me, because he talks like you and me. Let's go, come on. And he's like trying. That's what I would be doing to everyone, and I would wear it to the bedroom naked to cover myself, like Shawn Michaels Playgirl style. You guys also don't remember that? Shawn Michaels posed for a nudie magazine.
And do you know the
That's
only
what
problem
happened.
with that is?
Nah, there's no problems that I'm hearing.
The
sir.
only problem with that is that the belts are not built for children, and you were so broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip, it would slip down no problem.
It would slip down because I do look like I'm made of a fat guy and a skinny guy sewn together, waist, torso to legs. And they left an ass out, so like my spine just gets compressed all the time when I sit down.
You look like a bullfrog that stood up straight.
Yes, I've said my whole life I look like a frog that put on a pair of pants.
Yep.
But little some of the people don't know, Leon actually had a belt made for our little backyard wrestling
I did.
venture, and I wore it for the whole ride home after it came in
He
from
did.
Livermore. I wore it the whole way home.
And all I heard in the back was, "Oh yeah, I'm the champ."
I wore the belt home too. As soon as we won the titles, I held him for a while, put it down because we were the main event. Ended up getting undressed, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know if we." And they call us, "Hey, you have a promo." I'm like, okay, so I grabbed the jacket, I grabbed the belt, put the belt on, put it over my shoulder, cut the promo, and then I walk out and I'm like, "Well, everything's already done. We're just getting ready. We're waiting for the all clear to go home." I was like, I'm just going to hold on to this. So I strap it around my waist, wear it around for the rest of Teardown, and then we leave it. You could ask Mataja. He rides with me to all the shows. I wore it from the time we left the venue to the time I dropped him off, and then even after that, I wore it home.
That's crazy.
Dude, you have to.
I did not take it off the entire ride.
I was holding this little bitty belt it's way too small. We didn't think it was going to look like that. I was holding
It was
this
supposed
belt.
to be bigger.
That's what she said. I was holding this belt like I was holding the belt in the back seat like Macho Man,
Stroking it.
and I was just going,
Oh yeah.
I was just making Macho Man dad noises.
Macho Man in the backyard champion.
And then he said something about putting it down. I was like, yeah, everybody wants the Macho Man's Intercontinental Heavyweight title.
And then like me and Caleb's up front, we're doing like freaking Andre the Giant about the belt, and Jake the Snake with the belt, and
Hogan. I've been working on my Andre, dude.
You ain't gonna hurt me.
I've been working on my Andre, dude. Which you said the magic words to me just now, but Leon, you said jacket, and look, Leon wants to say something. So I'm gonna let him do that.
so I'm gonna just say this because it's over and done with, so we can't get in trouble for
Take
it.
off your pants and jacket.
No.
Oh.
I was
Damn it.
the first one out of us three to see the jackets in the locker room, and I
this
told
fucking
Casey, I said, "Hey," I was like, "Have you heard about a thing?" And he goes, "No, what are you talking about?" I said, "Okay, just watch." And you all put the belt down, you mark.
Finish telling your story.
Okay, so so we're sitting there, and your theme song comes out, and I tell Casey, I was like, "Watch." And you all come out, and like 4 people stand up in front of Casey, and he goes, "Freaking move!"
I said I can't fucking see him.
And so they move, and like he sees the jackets, and he's like, "Oh, those are nice."
Yeah, those are nice.
And I'm
jackets,
like, "Yeah,
dude.
they are." Who was it? Your all's idea that was like, "We gotta get jackets."
We gotta get these track
because I can
jackets out.
tell you from experience, and I told you all in the locker room, your all's attire was phenomenal. But with the jackets, they are such a standout. It's unreal.
Yeah, where'd the jackets come from? 'Cause that's great. I want to know who made them. They're phenomenal.
So Chris was the one that came to us and said, "You guys need something to step your." He said, "Your entrance is good, but it's not great." He said, "We need something to step it up." He said, "Whether it's jackets, it's vests, it's something you do when you come out," which we've been getting into. Which it's established now. We have our habit of going up the ring posts as it counts from 5 to 1. Mm-hmm. So me and Landon bounce around this idea. We're like, what can we add? And Landon's like, "What if we do jackets?" I said, "Jackets would be perfect. We need jackets." So I believe it was 2 or 3 weeks before Eddyville, the show where we win the titles. He's like, "Hey," I said, "Hey man, I don't know if I have the money to pitch in to get the jackets. We might not be able to have the jackets by Eddyville." He goes, "What if I just pay the whole amount now, and then you just pay me back later?" I said, "You're a lifesaver." I said, "This entrance is going to be beyond amazing." On top of that, we had decided that for our Eddyville show, we need another something to step up the entrance. And luckily, Amazon has these party poppers with purple and gold confetti, which I believe made the entrance 100 times better on top of the jackets. And then as far as who made the jackets, I believe the same person, I don't remember who exactly, you'd have to ask Landon. I don't remember who did the design, but I know it was Brick Knight that made the jackets and the tights and the whole gear set.
It's great looking gear. What are you looking like that for, Leon?
Because he said the word.
What?
Those poppers. Now I have to tell the story again.
Oh, about the confetti being stuck? Are you still crying about that?
I'm not crying about it. I'm just really, really...
He's upset about that metallic confetti, that glossy confetti.
No, and I said it for you know as well you don't know because you don't. When there are certain liquids on the concrete floors, that confetti doesn't like coming up in the first place. Okay,
how do I not know that?
So because you don't clean up spills. So we're sitting there and we're doing teardown in Eddyville and. Your all's entrance, the confetti poppers made it way better.
Minus Marauder going a little early.
Minus Marauder going, Marauder time was a little off. But we're sitting there and we've got the mop done. We're finishing up, sweeping. And I take all the stuff back to the janitor closet. That's the last thing we had to do. And I walk back out. And I don't know if I looked at Rhonda or if she was just talking to herself. But she goes, and it was kind of under breath, she goes, This purple and gold confetti just will not come up. And I stopped. And it's like my whole life flashed before my eyes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's right. And I saw Landon by the door. And I make a beeline straight for him.
You.
Yeah, he didn't see me coming. Like, I'm telling you right now that if MVP's theme song played that says, I'm coming, Landon would have no idea who's on his way.
Jesus Christ.
But we're sitting there, and I get, 15 feet away from him, and he spills his Powerade. And I'm like, well, great, let me go clean that up. So I go and I clean it up. And he's like, thanks, man, I appreciate it. I'm like, yeah, no, I know you couldn't see where it spilled at. But so we clean it up, and I congratulate him.
Man's dick. He's not here to defend
and
himself.
I congratulate him. And, I was like, you and Atlas deserve it. And I said, but I got to tell you, don't ever do purple and gold confetti ever again. And he goes, why? I said, well, for one, the purple, nice touch, comes up pretty easy. That gold, I will see it in my nightmares. So, the poppers were an awesome touch.
The jackets really did it.
The jackets really did it. I have PTSD now from purple and gold confetti. I'll never forget it.
I was doing camera when y'all were doing your entrances in Livermore? In Livermore, when I was doing camera there, and y'all were about to, each of you come out separately, about to open up the jacket to show the belt. I was like, come on, boys, show them the gold. I kept whispering under my breath. I was like, show them the gold. Show it to them.
Technically, it's silver, but...
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But where I'm going to pivot now, because you said the words that get me going, you just tickled my tiz. I'm like, yeah, no idea. You talking about playing D&D, brother. Why have we not ever talked about this before?
I do not know.
Let me ask you a question.
The wrestling locker room stays mostly on wrestling talk.
Yeah.
Are you nerdy or are you nerdy? Because we're kind of nerdy. We have Power Ranger morphers, so we're kind of nerdy.
I have a morpher in my backpack.
I have one right over there, actually.
I have a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger morpher right now. I keep that thing on me. Never know when kaijus are going to show up. You know what I mean?
I am pretty nerdy.
That's what's up. All right, cool.
All right, so D&D, what are you playing? What's your character?
I am playing a half-elf warlock.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, hold on. So what's your... Leon, you just sit this one out, big fella.
No, I'm grabbing some stuff.
So what have you gotten to a level where you've subclassed now?
I subclassed a little bit, but ended up just going back into... We had the opportunity to switch classes or just go back into one class, and I ended up just sticking all into Warlock at the moment.
So what's your subclass? Are you a Great Old One? Are you the Fiend? Are you a Hexblade? Which is I'm going to tell you why it's the only way to go if you're not a Hexblade. But
I am the Fiend.
All right, so the way of
My subclass is the Fiend.
yeah, the Fiend is always really good. I think that's really good Eldritch Blast territory
I stand
there.
Eldritch Blast.
Dude, Eldritch Blast. Well, see, if you're a Warlock and you're not throwing Eldritch Blast, we have a problem. Also, Hex and Hellish Rebuke. I love Hellish Rebuke. We have an inside joke with my old D&D group where we had a game where nobody was a warlock finally, and I was just like, we get into halfway through this game and I realized that no one has went Hellish Rebuke, because that's how they would cast it. It's just real, like, because we all smoke pot and play D&D is what we would do, so we get a little too stoned and we would forget some of our reactionary abilities. So one of these stony baloney motherfuckers would just start going Hellish Rebuke. So we'll just yell Hellish Rebuke at one another and point a finger at them. Hellish Rebuke. That and Hex. See, I'm a little bit more of a weirdo in D&D, because if you ask me, like, hey man, I got a character, I'm trying to figure out what class they're going to be, I will find a way to talk you into being a paladin every single time. Throw all your points in strength and constitution and take up an oath, motherfucker. It's time to go. Like, because paladins are great. But if you told me, like, hey, man, you're not allowed to play a paladin in this game, which some people have done to me because I constantly do it, I go, fine, Warlock, Hexblade. Because that Hexblade, you get that accursed specter. You start killing something, you hit it with Hexblade Curse. When you're in a certain range and it dies, you roll a dice, and if you get what you want, it creates a monster. And the size varies by what size the monster was you killed. But Fiend, there you can get into a whole other nasty thing. We could literally do a whole other podcast about D&D. I've put so much work into this game over like 4 different editions. Because I'm old, I'm older than you guys are. I'm also 147 years old. So I was playing before Pathfinder, and when we didn't have a lot of this fancy shit that you kids have nowadays, y'all are all lucky with your 5e and your streamlined game mechanics. It's so irritating. Have you ever dungeon mastered before?
I have not. I'm bouncing around the idea of a campaign at the moment, so I'm currently working on one. It's just not set in stone yet.
Do you know how hard I've been trying to figure out a way to get the boys to play D&D with me, like the wrestlers, get someone to play D&D with me over Zoom?
I would be so down for it.
Oh, dude, we're going to figure it out because I know it can be done. There's this really cool YouTube video. Hey, wrestling fans, I'm just going to stop real fast. If you don't like D&D, go fuck yourself. We're going to talk about it for a minute. But, like, there's a game that had been going on since the beginning of, like, I don't know, Pathfinder or something like that, which is way back, and that's before my kids were even born. And they had started running a game, and then everybody moved away. So the Dungeon Master gets everybody hooked up on Skype and starts playing over Skype. Well, then this game transforms into a 12-year campaign that has grown players. Now they went from their core, like 5 people that all moved away, to starting to have people that live in like Iceland playing with them. And there was like a big brouhaha about it when Critical Role came out, because that's when, the Critical Role guys really brought D&D to the forefront of like pop culture. And now everybody wants to play D&D, a bunch of fucking posers. Like, it brought it to the forefront. And like, so it's possible to do this. I've had an idea about a story because I found a homebrew class that's Luchador. And when you subclass, you get to pick Technician, High Flyer, or Powerhouse. If you're the Powerhouse, it's like Hulk Hogan. Like, that's how you're built. You do the leg drop, you do all Hogan's moves. You're a charisma monster that also goes into strength. And then there's the High Flyer, which for some reason is Shawn Michaels. I don't really associate Shawn Michaels as a high flyer, but the game does. And then the Technician is Kurt Angle. And then they started just making all these like different styles of wrestling. Like, there's a Joshi subclass where you do Joshi strong style stuff, and then there's like the traditional like CMLL, Santos kind of style, or El Santo, and like stuff like that. Like, it's really interesting. So I thought about like making a game that revolved around a wrestling fed, and everybody who was in the game was a wrestler. So that way I could appeal to wrestlers.
would 100% be down for that. That sounds absolutely amazing.
Oh, then we're tag teaming on some dudes and figuring out how we can get this thing going, because that would be the most fun thing in the entire world. Chris said his exact words were, come up with some stuff to get us some attention. So I thought about that. I was like, I'm going to film this. I'm going to record it while we play, put it out weekly. Like, this will be a really fun thing. Let dudes get over. Let dudes play D&D. Chicks play D&D. Whatever, man. It would be super fun. Now that I know, like, I didn't peg you. I didn't even peg you for a dude who would be into D&D. So I'm pleasantly surprised.
I'm a huge nerd. I can't say I was always open to the idea of D&D. Like, I had friends that played it, and I was like, man, I would love to do it. I had the schedule for it. But what really hooked me into, like, I have to do this was when I played Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, my God, dude. I got 500, I got 600 hours in that game now.
Don't start on hours on a video game. I'll smash every one of you.
Controller. Where's my controller?
Dude, I got it now.
He's looking to see how many hours he got.
I just started mine 5th all the way through playthrough.
Now, let me ask you a question, Jace. Do you play WWE games?
Yes. I have 542 hours in Baldur's Gate, by the way.
Oh, dude, we are
yes,
not...
I do play the WWE games. I have been playing... My first WWE game was SmackDown versus Raw 2011.
Dude,
Absolutely
same.
I've been in love with wrestling since then.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you play on PS5 or Xbox?
PS5.
Oh, dude, we're adding you.
Yeah, we're going to have a
playing.
Conversation after we get done recording, but...
All right, so have you played 2K19?
Dude, when I dropped off of wrestling to kind of pursue some other things in my life, 2K19 was where I picked back up in wrestling.
How many hours do you have in that game?
Oh, at least a couple hundred. At least a couple hundred.
Would you like to know how many hours I have in that game?
How many?
1,889 hours in WWE 2K19.
Jesus Christ.
I can't believe...
MK told me I need to see a psychiatrist.
I can't believe a woman lets you see her naked with those kind of numbers in that game, dude. Like,
Those hours are kind of crazy.
yeah, like...
Well, look, so I wasn't married at the time, first of all. When that game came out, it came out in 2018. So I played it 2018, 2019. Then they went from 2K19 to 2K20. They did not have 2K21. They went to Battlegrounds, which I'd never played Battlegrounds.
I did. It was okay.
So I played 2K19. I remember 2K20 was so bad that they extended the 2K19 online contract for another year.
It was terrible, dude.
So I played technically 2K19 for a span of almost 3 years after it came out.
Virgin. Anyway, I do got to tell you guys, I'm going to break your hearts for a minute. I'm going to do a little bit of a hot take here.
Okay.
SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, ass. It's mid.
It is not as fantastic.
It's mid.
No, it is not. Oh my goodness.
Mid.
No.
Mid.
No. Here Comes the Pain was really good.
Mid.
Oh my goodness.
Joking.
We
I'm
cannot.
joking. I'm joking. Here Comes the Pain and SmackDown Shut Your Mouth are probably two of the best games in there.
This was a good one.
2K14 is the best game in
Do you know why I like it?
because you like know what?
I like it because it was the last year of Creative Finisher.
It was.
They have not had Creative Finisher since 2013 when this came out.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm telling you right now, 2K26 had better have Creative Finisher.
SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 is the only one anyone should be playing.
I've got all the SmackDown versus Raws.
I will whoop your ass at 2007 today. I haven't played it in 20 years. I'll whoop your ass in it today.
Dude, so a super embarrassing story. I used to be super good when I was like 9 or 10 at Here Comes the Pain because that was the first one that I ever played.
I'd take Ultimo Dragon, whoop you.
So I was super good. I was so good. Me and my wife bought a PlayStation 2 when we moved into this house. When we bought this house, I got on and I found a PS2 and bought some wrestling games, one of which was Here Comes the Pain. I did not realize, for one, that I have gotten so adjusted to playing the simulation style wrestling games that the arcade style played entirely different.
Yeah, it's a night and day.
I got on to Here Comes the Pain thinking, I'm a veteran at this. I'll be amazing. When I tell you that Hillbilly Jim stomped me into the mud, he stomped me into the mud. I was playing as Stone Cold Steve Austin and got my butt whooped by Hillbilly Jim 4 times in a row. It was awful. I was so embarrassed. I haven't played it since. That's been 9 months ago.
I'm going to tell you all right now, there's not a wrestling game on the planet made before 2010 that anyone can touch me at. No one can hang with my stuff.
Cap.
Not Cap.
Cap.
I'm trying to get Lucas Tower to run the fade and No Mercy so I can make him cry. He been talking mad shit about how good he is at that when I've been trying to get him run the fade, catch this work. Because I will take Stone Cold Steve Austin and just spam that stunner until he hates me.
Dude, you know what's funny? I feel like the worst wrestling game ever made, the AEW Fight Forever game.
Wrong.
It's terrible.
It's not the worst.
Well, the WrestleMania game.
WCW Mayhem.
Okay.
That's
well, those
worst.
two.
That's the worst.
I feel like AEW tried to get it to play like an old WWE game, and they failed.
Yeah, they were trying to play it like No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000.
They were awful.
And see, I keep talking to you young cats about Nintendo 64, and I feel like I'm speaking German sometimes. You guys might know what I'm talking about.
No, let me tell you why I don't like the 64 games. Because you have to type in a freaking cheat code to hit a signature or finisher on those games.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
On the Super Nintendo, yes, you
It's
did.
because you suck.
It's wrestling. It's not Mortal Kombat.
Anyway, Atlas, so Baldur's Gate 3, you've got 500 and something hours into that one, so I'm going to imagine, you're 3 playthroughs in now, at least?
Just about.
I was hoping you weren't one of those psychopaths that put 600 hours into one playthrough. I was going to be like, dude, how did you fill 600 hours into one playthrough?
He squoze it in.
So I've done a good ending, I've done a bad ending, and then the last run I did was trying to get every cutscene I could.
So when you say bad ending, do you mean like doing it as Tav and doing the evil ending, or being Urge?
I did it as Urge.
Okay. Did you know, because a lot of people don't know this, I was watching some videos before Patch 8 had come out, and somebody was asking the guy from Larian, is there a way to not be evil when you play the Dark Urge? And he sits for a minute and he was like, I don't know. Give it a shot. About 2 weeks later, a guy comes out with a video, and if you play as the Dark Urge and you resist everything, the game is completely different. Completely different. If you resist killing everyone that you kill, you have to kill one person. You have to kill Alfira no matter what. She has to die. It's a pivotal point. It is a canon event. Everything after that, you can resist killing, and the game will punish you for doing so, but making it fun. They call it the light urge. So if you do get bored and you're like, how can I get another ending out of this game? You're welcome. Do it. It's worth it. It's the most worth it playthrough I've done so far. It is so good, dude. It is so good. I mean, I fully went full Urge this time. I went Dark Urge the first time, and I did half Light Urge, half Dark Urge, and just kind of like I killed who I wanted to kill to get what I wanted to get, and then I resisted stuff I didn't want to do. This time, now I'm killing babies, dude. Like, it's whatever, man. If I can kill them, they're dead.
It's a video game, people.
Yeah, it's a video game. So I'm killing dogs. I'm killing everything. Everything dies. If it lets me kill you, I'm killing you. I turned on the Goblin Camp before it was even time, or on the Emerald Grove before it was even time to turn on the Emerald Grove. I found a way to do it. It's very hard, but you can do it. You can kill everybody before you even go to the Goblin Camp. And then you tell Minthara, and it's a whole thing. But, like, I did full Dark Urge. I go through, I kill Orin, and then I tell Ball, like, I will do your bidding. As soon as I walked out the door, Jahira, Minsk, and all the Harpers are waiting on me, and there's no talking them out of wanting to kill me. 45-minute fight. Not even on honor mode. I don't even think I was on tactician. 45-minute fight. No shit. I timed it. So don't do that. No, I mean, it's super fun. What I really find fun is how these two things correlate. I try to explain to Leon all the time. Like, we left one of the shows, and he was like, all these dudes are nerds. And I was like, yeah, dude, it's wrestling. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, like these dudes are like super cool to us because they're not as nerdy as us. But to like civilians who don't know anything about wrestling, yeah, we are a building full of nerds.
Well, we always say that it's kind of like the stuff that all of us in the locker room like is goofy. And Munchie brings up a very good point. We're grown men wrestling in our tights and underwear. We're all goofy and we're all crazy.
It's all goofy, it's all silly, and it all mixes together. So where I want to go is, what took over for you first? Was wrestling the first thing that catches you, or was it like comic books and animes and things like that, and then wrestling came along afterwards?
It has to go back to when I was younger. It was wrestling first. I was big into wrestling. When I fell out of it, it was big on anime, big on video games, big on all that stuff. And then I didn't really fall out of that stuff. I still watch that stuff. I still do that stuff. But then I also picked back up on wrestling, and now wrestling's a major part of my life.
Oh, yeah, dude. That would be an understatement. I mean, wrestling's gotten so involved in your life. Actually, we just welcomed your girlfriend onto the staff as a part of the family. How'd that feel for you?
You stole my question.
It feels really good because she's been telling me she's wanted to help out with the company more than just sitting in the crowd and cheering for me. And I told her, I'll talk to Chris and see what kind of opportunities we have for you. Because I'm sure if you wanted to train or if you wanted to help with concessions and merch or anything like that, she's like, I would love to help with concessions and merch, because she doesn't feel like she could do wrestling, but I believe that she absolutely could.
Well, I mean, that we got that casting call coming soon. We've all been tasked of recruiting people who identify as female to be wrestlers.
Which I may have one.
I am trying. I'm definitely trying with her at least.
Now I gotta tell you, whenever Chris, calls back, I'm gonna open it up for everybody just a little bit. We're not allowed to leave until Chris says we're allowed to leave. It's a very family-oriented setting. We tell each other bye. We shake hands. We hug. It's a real deal.
It's a big family.
Real deal thing. You have to wait till Chris says let's go, because he might have something to say. So he introduces her, lets everybody know like she'll be working with us. Everybody's clapping and cheering, and I'm sitting back there with Onyx, and I was like, I got booed when I got introduced, and this is bullshit.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, look, I'm so glad that Nicole's a part of the family now. It's great. But here's the thing. Going back to what Casey said.
They booed us.
Dude, when we got brought in, it was our first training. So our tryout was in Livermore, and our first day of training was in Owensboro. No, it was in Livermore because we had to stay after the tryout.
Livermore, yeah.
And we're sitting there, and he does his announcements for the week, and he goes, hey, just a heads up. We have 3 new people joining our family. One of them is trying to do whatever he wants to do. And then he goes, 2 of them are trying to take your all's matches.
Trying to take your spots.
And everybody was like, boo, you guys suck. And I'm standing there like, oh, well, so much for a welcoming party. But, and that's the funny thing is we pick on each other. We get underneath everybody's skin. And, that's the joy of wrestling is everybody has such a different background that when Saturday hits, it's everything else is out the window. It's about putting on a good show. It's about, working together. It's about doing justice to professional wrestling. So that's kind of like, how is it for you going out on Saturdays, going out there, putting on a great show? We've asked everybody, we've asked Thomas, everybody, is it a ball of nerves every time you go out there, or is it starting to get to where, let's go do it, let's put on a good show?
Saturday for me.
Yeah.
For me, I have a lot of troubles through the week, so when Saturdays hit, I don't think about any of my troubles. I'm like, okay, I get to go perform in front of people, I get to make people happy, I get to suspend their belief and try to make them, as best as I can, believe in wrestling and believe that it's still real, even though kayfabe is so broken at this point, it's unbelievable. especially in all forms of wrestling. But
Oh yeah.
it's sometimes at the ball of nerves. It's like, okay, big match, big eyes. People are looking at me, especially with the tag team title match. I was nervous all day, but now it's getting to a point where it's like, yeah, I might be a little nervous going out, but as soon as I walk to that curtain, and no pun intended, it's natural. It's natural. As soon as I hit that curtain, the energy is there, and I walk. As soon as I hit that curtain, I'm out there with everybody cheering, chanting, and rooting for us. I am completely determined to put on a good show.
Mm-hmm. That was great, man. Which is a real good segue into a segment that we.
Oh my goodness! It just dawned on me.
What?
So their faces right now, right? I've already got an idea. When they turn heel, they're going to be called freak accidents. There it is.
Did you really interrupt my segment for that?
I sure did.
The next time you interrupt me, some like Mark Twain shit better come out of your mouth. So anyway, back to what I was saying before this guy made a bad pun. Since you've been on the show, we've actually launched this segment that I try to get everybody through. We started with Alexander Knight. I figured it was perfect. I'm calling it our rapid fire. If you want to play, I've come up with a questionnaire. I'm a big fan of certain interviewers that do this kind of thing. Stephen Colbert does this. Kind of gives you like a couple questions that are kind of thought-provoking. Just answer them the best you can, as few words as possible. Just to kind of, I think it's fun. So if you want to play, we're going to play.
Absolutely.
All right, let's do this, bro. So the first question I ask everyone to start with is once you step through that curtain, like, what's your favorite thing about it? Like, what's the thing that, like, your favorite thing about it? Is it your music? Is it your, like, just your entrance itself being out there? Like, what is your favorite thing about stepping through that curtain?
The roar of the crowd. Hearing them come up as we step out.
Boom. Super simple. Yeah, nice.
All right, yeah, I like that one. So the next question is, all right, we're going to say, I don't know where you lean religiously, faith-wise. Let's say heaven exists. Who's the first wrestler you hope to run into? Now, when you give me your answer, I'm going to tell you what Alexander Knight's answer is so you can have a laugh.
Eddie Guerrero.
Nice.
Alexander Knight's answer was Daniel Benoit. That's real.
It is real. You can go back and check the receipt.
I said, can't be Chris because we know where he's at. That's how he answered it. I'm not even joking. I've liked every answer given better than that one 100 times over. Okay. If you could steal anybody on the rosters, just any move they do, be it like something they use as a finish, something they just do that no one else does, if you could steal someone's move on our roster without them knowing, who would it be? And what would it be?
MK Swift's coup de grace.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet. That dude is, I'm going to pause the question. That dude is going to give me a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, me too.
That dude's going to give me a heart attack. Every time he goes to jump over the rope. Say, what's that?
He's already given me a few.
Dude, he smacked his head at Halloween Hell, and I was like, holy shit. He smacked his head in Livermore and knocked himself out. And
twice.
I said,
he did it twice.
Twice. And after it's all over, I said, are you okay? He looked at me and went, huh? Yeah, I'm fine. And he just kept walking. I was like, what?
Dude, I tell you what, he is the first person that I've ever seen to knock themselves out on a frog splash ever in history.
Surprisingly, not the first person I've seen do it.
So, crazy story. Not this Halloween Hell, but the last Halloween Hell, when he had that big match with CCW. They had that, I think it was one of the metal interweave posts we had, and they had it suspended up above the ring because they had the cage, they had that, they had a couple other Halloween decorations on it, but Chris and MK are going over this spot where they lower the thing down on the lift. MK stands on it, lifts himself up, and then he jumps off of it onto Chris. And in theory, it was a really cool idea until they lowered the thing down. They're going over it. This is before the show. They're going over it. They lower it down. MK steps up on it. He goes up, and he's like, this thing's wobbling too much. We may not be able to do it. And no sooner than he said that, the cable broke, and the thing dropped probably about 10 foot down, bounced off the rope, ripped his pant leg open, and if he hadn't been wearing pants, it would have slit his inner thigh open, and tragedy there, but it had dropped. He had hit his tailbone on the metal post, ripped his pants, did a complete flip bump off of the post and into the ring. And for probably about the next hour and a half, could not walk properly. He needed assistance everywhere, and I was one of the guys helping him limp around everywhere. So finally they get him up and going. I assist him to the ring, and then he and Chris finished calling their match, and I'm like, that was nerve-wracking. And then he still went out that night and performed like nothing had ever happened. Granted, as soon as the match started, Chris shoved him off of the top of the turnbuckle to the outside onto Chris Falcon and through a table. So, MK Swift has given everybody a lot of heart attacks within the company.
Why? Why would you do stuff? Well, not why would you do stuff like that, but what goes through your mind when you're like, hey, I've got this awesome idea. I'm probably going to die, but we're going to do this. Like, I guess I'll have to learn that.
Yeah, give it time. It'll happen to you.
Dude, so speaking of heart attacks, I told somebody today, I was like, we were talking about Halloween Hell and MK, hitting himself a lot. And I told somebody, I said, you've got guys that have been wrestling for 30, 35 years, and they've done some crazy stuff, and they're still wrestling. I said, but then you've got guys who have wrestled for a couple years, and their bump card is all filled up. You can't poke on any more holes in it. If MK keeps it up, his holes are going to be filled before too long. Do not take that out of context.
I don't like the way you just said somebody's holes were going to get filled. We're going back to the questionnaire now of holes getting filled. Jesus Christ. This is a fucking family show, Leon.
Whoa, first of all, you have no room to talking about me hypothetically eating hot dogs with my butt. And now you're telling me that this is a family show.
There's nothing hypothetical about that. I watched you eat a hot dog with your ass.
First of all, you've never ever seen me eat hot dogs with my butt.
Bun and all. Anyway, back to the questionnaire.
Oh my goodness.
So I've asked, what move would you steal? Now I'm going the opposite way around. There are a lot of moves in professional wrestling that are being seen as overdone, that we need to stop doing them. Mm-hmm. What's that move for you? A move that is overdone, that if you could tell everyone in wrestling to stop doing it for the next 5 years, they would. What would that be?
Anybody in wrestling, the spear. Stop doing the spear. It used to be such a cool move, such a good move that 9 out of 10 wrestlers you meet use a spear, and it is so overdone that at this point it has no effect.
Yeah, you hear that, Hawkins?
Now, see, here's the thing, though. I somewhat agree, especially when you are a guy who has no business doing a spear.
Yeah, I always thought
like you have to do, in my opinion, if you don't look like you should be doing a move, don't do the move.
Yeah, I always heard just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right.
It was usually applied to big men jumping off the ropes, but like it also applies to that. I have this thing about suspension of disbelief in pro wrestling. I don't want to see Alex Beretta choke slam Alpha Akana.
Right.
That is not believable. Really, anybody choke slamming Alpha is unbelievable. But just specifically, biggest guy versus... I don't want to see Dash Licardo attempt to powerbomb Bo Sawyer.
Yeah.
It's not believable. That's not going to happen. First of all, Bo would eat half the roster, so that's not happening.
And not because he's fat, because he's not. He's just a monster.
No, Chelsea asked me at ballpark how many hours I thought Bo spent in the gym, and I was like, dude, I could not tell you. I ain't in that guy's life like that.
I can tell you, because I've never told anybody, before I got the tryout, I actually
Went to Bo.
Bo Sawyer, because Bo is a licensed instructor, like fitness instructor.
Trainer, yeah.
So I asked him what his regimen was, and he said that he does 3 different body parts, 2 days a week on each body part, which means, if I remember this correctly, he's in the gym at least 6 days a week.
Fuck that.
I'm pretty sure that's how our conversation went.
Bro, I reffed a practice match and threw my arm all the way out. Nope, couldn't do that in the gym at all. But back to the final question of the question. I have several different questions I trade out, but this is always one that ends it. the day that you leave your boots in the middle of that ring, the day you call it quits, what do you hope your legacy is? Not Natural Causes legacy, because I imagine if wrestling is the way that it is, Natural Causes is not forever. But what is Jace Atlas's legacy?
I've always, ever since I've started wrestling in general, my goal has not to been, oh, let me make money so that my family can thrive. It's let me make a name that people can look at and go, I knew that guy. You know, that was my son, that was my brother, that was my cousin, that was my friend, that was somebody I went to school with. I want people to know me. Not necessarily, oh, he's got this, even just to make it on television for any big company at this point, just to be known, just to say, hey, I knew this guy. Oh, you knew that guy? No, you didn't. Yeah, look, here's a picture. I knew this guy. I hope my legacy is something where people will not just, oh, he's another one of those indie wrestlers that he was this guy who put in the work, put in the dedication, and got to where he wanted to be. I want my legacy to be, I want to be known is essentially what I'm trying to get. I want people to know me.
That's awesome.
That's a beautiful answer. And what I really love about all the answers I've gotten off of this, if you notice, we have a recurring theme. It's never, I want to be champion more than John Cena. I want to be the guy who is known as the guy who is on top. Everybody in that company, all with the same idea. I want to be somebody who inspired, who made people feel. It's always something like that. And that's another thing that I love about the company that we're all, quite frankly, blessed to work for. I'm not a religious man by any means, but we are truly blessed to be able to work at a place the way that WWA is, the how welcoming it is. I mean, I told both people who were in charge of whether or not I become a referee, hey, I can't get any better at this job for the next few weeks because I have thrown my arm out. And instead of being like, yeah, well, your body's weak, so this isn't going to work for you anymore. Mm-hmm. No, it was, when you're ready to come back, don't come back too fast. When you're ready to come back, we'll get this thing kicking back. You've got a spot here. Make sure you take care of yourself. It wasn't, can you work hurt? Can you help tear the ring down? You know, instead of just pushing a broom or something like that, the little stuff that Matija had to do when he was limping around real hard. Like, it's not that. It was take care of yourself. Let's do this thing. Same thing with my brother right now. That's a thing going on. So many people at that company have reached out to me. It's a wonderful place to be. And if you keep on the uptick that you are on now, again, not even just Landon, because I do want to remind everybody, right now there's a program going on, and a lot of the ammo being used against Natural Causes is Jace Atlas is Landon Sugar's sidekick.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you right now that Natural Causes doesn't happen. It's not the phenomena it has become in the WWA without both of you in the right place at the right time doing your thing. I want to make that abundantly clear because I know it's just promos, but I work with Leon and Caleb on promos, and I tell them to rip me apart, and sometimes they do a little too well. And I'm like, is that really what you guys think of me? And I'm like, I hope that's not what you think of me. Leon cut a promo on me, told me all I cared about was myself and my interests and what I wanted. Didn't care what anybody else wanted as long as it went my way. And I was like, I'm not like that at all. That was mean. So I just need you to be aware. And I need the fans to be aware because sometimes perception is reality. And Cortland's real good at doing that to people. And Michael Caden's real good about this. That the fans need to understand that Natural Causes is not Landon Sugars. It is Landon Sugars. It is Jace Atlas.
Right.
Without one, the other one is not, doing this right now. The paths are completely different. So just understand that it's just so weird to look at a tag team and not have a Genetti. I can't pick which one of you is the Genetti.
Dude, and that's the thing too, is going back to what you were saying about the promos, when you've got two guys that are so in sync with one another,
right,
like Jace and Landon, they are so in sync, they are so attuned to what needs to be done to get the job done. you cannot say that Jace would be this without Landon and Landon would be this without Jace. It doesn't happen.
No.
It can't happen.
No, this
Now,
happened.
if, like you said, if you had a Sean and a Janetti, yes.
Easily.
Janetti, Sean, sidekick, whatever.
Easily.
Get super kicked through a window, whatever. You cannot do that with natural causes.
No, I do not think pairing either one of you with another tag team reaches you where you are, because you don't have the opportunity to shine to where the both of you are completely unselfish. You are completely giving to one another. You trust each other. You are like brothers. I'm honest. I'll be honest. When you said that at the beginning of the show, that if we didn't know any better, that's kind of how I feel. If I didn't know any better, I would think the two of you spent every single waking
Or
moment
we're best
of the night.
friends, cousins,
Yeah.
something.
That's why in our first show, I was like, so do you guys know each other prior? Because there's no fucking way.
That they are in
Yeah.
sync like that. Yeah.
So don't get it twisted. Nobody get it
You
twisted.
hear that, Cortland Moore, Michael Caden? You heard it first on the Turnbuckle Weekly
fuck are you
podcast.
doing?
I have no idea.
What are you doing right now?
Stirring the pot a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Stop it. Stop it. But
man.
I felt the need to say, I'm always really bad. Like I'm very introverted. So when I'm at practice, or I'm at like practice matches and I'm at the shows and we're doing cleanup, I can't just walk up to somebody and be like, dude, fucking phenomenal. But something about doing this podcast, the character happens and I can say whatever I want.
Look, I will say this
So
because,
it's-
I feel like it has to be said because we bring it up on every single episode. I will say that the Natural Causes finish is way better than the Magic Killer.
Oh, yeah. To close it out, where did that come from?
Because it is amazing. I love it so much.
Great. And you guys hit it flawlessly. Where did that come from?
So this is going to go to back before me and Landon were a tag team when we worked a few practice matches. Ray tells us, hey, Jace, you're going to work a practice match with Landon. And I did to him what I can't remember exactly who my first practice match was. I think it was Munchie Gonzalez. But he pulled me to the side and said, what moves do you have? And I looked at him and I said, I don't have anything. He said, I'm still new. I'm not working. I don't know. I don't have anything. So he kind of put it together for me. I pulled Landon aside and I said, what moves do you have? And he gave me the same answer. He said, I don't have anything. I don't really have much to use. I said, well, do you at least have a finish? He said, I do not. So I had a list of moves that I was like, okay, I will give you something out of my set here that I'm not using for you to use. And lo and behold, I was planning on using the BFT, which Landon does. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, hey, hit this. I said, I've got a cool setup that goes into this. I hook him for the playmaker I use. He slips out of it, hooks the head, hits a BFT. Cleanest move I've ever seen him hit. Even the boys who were watching the match, it was an uproar. That move, it was clean, it was crisp, it was executed perfectly. And from then on, I was like, that's your move. There's nothing else you can hit. That's your move. So then they start telling us, come up with a tag team finish. We're bouncing around a few ideas, and just randomly, I don't know how I thought of it. I'm sitting there, I said, what if we did a 3D, but instead of just a cutter, what if you hit your BFT? So we experimented a little bit, and we figured they have to jump on my right side, go up with the flapjack, and come down, and all he has to do is just catch, hook, and down. We practiced it a few times, and it only took us probably about the third time until we had it down flat. Like, okay, this is the move. It looks really cool. It looks devastating. There's no other move we can use. It's Landon's finisher and my assistance, and without one, like y'all said, without one, there's no other. So as such as the tag team, as the finisher, without one, there is not the other.
Right.
And ever since then, that has been the best finish I've ever seen in that company.
So what you're saying is it just came natural.
So
I did all that.
It came to me naturally, and us executing it is nothing but natural.
that's what's up.
I did all of that. To make a pun.
So are we saying then that the playmaker is your finish?
Yes.
Okay, see, that's all I needed to know. Because I've been sitting there, and I talk to Casey all the time because I like being on my toes. I'm a huge fan of finishers. I think that they're so underrated nowadays. Undertaker said it himself. A finish used to mean exactly what it is. It's a finish.
It ended the match.
The end of the match. And I think that there's so many times where you hit these giant spots, these moves that are supposed to finish people off. AEW does it all the time, where where it needs to end the match. Like you've got two guys who are hitting 15 Canadian destroyers in a row, and they kick out at 1.5, and then they go and get beat by like a clothesline or something. And that's
way to take a shot at Okada.
So that's what I've always wondered is, because I'm sitting there, you've got that bottom rope springboard elbow, you've got the recoil, and you've got the playmaker. And I'm glad that I can now say that I now know that Jace Atlas' finisher is the playmaker.
I don't like that you called it the recoil. I call it the code breaker.
He hits it on his side. It's not the code breaker. Code breaker is vertical.
We can fight about this
Not
all
horizontal.
day. We can fight about this all day.
You're right. We can and all win.
That whole move is actually, because I grabbed my moveset from WWE 2K25, just looking through the moveset.
That's what's up.
It's actually supposed to be a different variation of what's called Protect Your Neck, which that one, they're on all fours as if they would take the Oklahoma roll. You'll pick up the arm, spin your leg over, hook the arm, pull their head up,
Break
and then
that
just
neck,
fall back, and their head on your knee.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can I not only use this, but change it to be different? And I start going over my whole comeback sequence. Clothesline, back elbow, hit the punk neck breaker, the swinging neck breaker. They sell up to the corner. I'll come in with the big splash, put them in the wrist lock, pull them out, and then it's right there. Just grab the head, pop the knee up, and fall back. Then they lay down, and then here comes my favorite move of all time, the roadkill, the corner, the elbow in the corner. I love that move. Absolutely love it. I almost thought it was my original idea first, but then I remembered nothing in wrestling is original.
That's true. Now, see, you say that, and Casey's going back to him inventing a move that Rhea Ripley does.
I invented that fucking move.
You didn't. You did not invent it. If you invented it, how did Rhea find out about it?
I don't know. She was a child when I invented it.
I
invented it. Nobody was doing it before me.
You want to hit her up on Instagram and be like, hey, you stole my submission.
No, if I hit Rhea Ripley up on Instagram, it's going to get it's going to get way more R-rated than that.
Oh, my goodness.
I tell the kids all the time, that could have been your mom. And Chelsea's like, how? And I'm like, multiverse theory, bitch, multiverse theory.
Yeah, and then Buddy would come over and snap you like a twig. The dude's a monster.
Look, all I'm saying is the prism lock that she does, that's mine. You stole it from me. I'll take my millions now. No, that is true. Nothing in wrestling is that's original. True. It happens a lot. There was so many moves I used to go like, I did this first, and then I'll find like a dude in IWA Mid-South was doing it 2 years before I broke in, and I was like, shit.
Well, and that's one thing too, that's one thing that Mark Henry said was hardly anything ever gets invented in wrestling. And his spot that he did when he rolled backwards is always something that gets him so emotional. The Mark Henry spot.
And now everyone who's big does it.
Yeah. Somebody in WWE did it during the practice match. Santos did. And we were sitting by Bo Sawyer, and Bo ribs him so hard all the time. And we're sitting there.
Fucking Santos.
He does He may have even been to Jace. I don't remember who he was working with.
It was the Landon.
He did the Mark Henry spot.
It was Landon.
And Bo's sitting there, and I see Bo. Of course, he's got his gear on, and we're sitting on the bench. And he leans up real quick, like shoves his chest out, and he goes, "Don't you freaking do it! Don't you do it!" Because Santos does the roll, takes 2 steps forward, and fall away slams Landon, and he goes, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh, he's gonna die." But that's awesome, man.
I'm gonna tell you what, guys. There is probably no better way to end this, because I'm definitely gonna do that. I forgot that there's an 8-year-old in the other room that I'm probably gonna have to give food to or whatever, because you got to feed these fucking animals.
Who would have ever thought, right? That's how nature works.
Dude, if they would have told me that's what I had to do, I never would have finished in all those Legos.
I mean, it's only natural that you do that.
Shut the fuck up. Atlas, we really appreciate you coming back on the show and dealing with Santos Jr. over here, because they're the same dude. And it makes me want to crash the car every time.
Dude, I told you, Santos is my clone that nobody knew we needed. I was born first.
Jesus Christ. Atlas, you want to let everybody know where they can find you and see your stuff?
You can find me on Facebook under Atlas WWA. You can find me on Instagram under the same tag, and you can find me on TikTok as the One Atlas.
There we go, folks. It has been a wonderful show. I was looking forward to doing this. We had to push it back, and I was so disappointed. Nothing was going to stop me this week from getting this done. I don't care about injury. I don't care about nothing. This is something I was definitely looking forward to. I needed the perfect time to get these guys back on, and it was only right to have them separate. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We appreciate your time. Love yourselves. Love one another. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And let's get through the week, man. Enjoy this wrestling thing and block out all of the stupid bullshit going on in the world today.
That's right.
We love you guys. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks, Mom.